What is happening today, guys? My name is Trap Trades, and welcome back to another technical analysis update on a couple different stocks. We're going to be going over AI today, so you got to start with the big blue chip, Nvidia. And I want to go over what could be a potential rising wedge, and you have this on a couple different big names, and that's what kind of has me worried about. You're rising, and you have been rising on on price, but decreasing on volume as you kind of trade narrower and narrower into this rising wedge for a potential bubble pop. And so that's what I'm really looking at here. Of course, you're not even close to there yet. You have a whole lot of more euphoria, and there's no saying how long this trades for. Honestly, this could trade all the way to the pinnacle in 2028, right? Nobody knows. And so that's what I wanted to go over today. Nvidia, stock ticker Nvidia, looks really, really nice. We unfortunately did not buy in. My friend bought in at $90 or $85, something like that. I did not personally. I bought S&P, but this stock was in a falling broadening wedge. That, in case you guys do not know, that is a bullish reversal pattern. And typically what you'll see within this is price chop. Within it, you get close or midway through the half point, and then you make a reversal. And what you would measure is the bottom to the breakout, and then you would take that and you would put it on top of the breakout. Now that does take you, that profit target does take you to the top of this wedge, which would make sense, right? If this is going to be that falling broadening wedge price target, you would expect maybe September to October AI to be at AI stock Nvidia to be right around 250. That would be tremendous. That would be huge upside for not only the S&P 500, but all AI stocks in general. I know we went over Sound and Big Bear AI. I believe strongly in this kind of AI bubble. I think this is going to be the time to profit on a bigger move that is about to happen. So that move right there would be 72% on a blue chip stock like Nvidia. That is not your everyday move. In fact, that's a beautiful move for such a big stock. You kind of have descending volume. Since when was this? March. So that's Nvidia, guys. Very interesting. I'm on the weekly here. Let's just kind of peek in and see the daily. You closed a doji on the weekly on top of the wedge, which isn't too bad. It means you've retested and potentially looking for higher. You do have a golden cross on the daily, which looks nice. Worst case scenario, maybe you dip back into the wedge right around 140, and then you retest that golden cross and you send it. You go. Very possible situation. You printed a bullish inverse hammer candle here, which doesn't look too bad. And if you look on the daily, bullish volume is in control. The bulls are in control here. And there's no problem with that at all. You're green on the daily MACD. Then you go to the 4-hour, you are green on the 4-hour, and you did pretty much tap that top perfectly. Looks really nice. So I do think that Nvidia is primed for short-term upside and long-term, still more upside, to be honest. This stock is an absolute menace, but you have to be careful once you hit the top of this rising wedge or rising resistance. You have to be careful because this thing, although not rejecting terribly, will trade sideways and to the right and down. So Nvidia, that was my little update on Nvidia. Let's get into Sound now. And sound is looking nice. Let's kind of delete this price target. We'll go over that again for you guys, for those who missed it the first time. But you have broken the resistance here that you had since $24, $25-ish back in December, almost January. You topped out here from within this larger term channel. I'll show you guys that in a second. I'll zoom out. But you dumped how much? Pretty large percent. You dumped 76% in 100 days. Wow. That's filthy. What's even more filthy is the short term here on SoundHound AI, rejection. And then you touch and you kind of make a falling wedge here. You've ridden the indicators and now you have broken from the wedge, retested, and now you're on your way. And so what we need to see is a green open next week, which I think is very possible. That big, beautiful bill just passed. So you can expect a lot of bullish printing for the stock market. Not bullish for the economy per se, because the debt ceiling raises and raises and raises. But there's two things that particularly I really like from this bill. Not to get political, very much not so. I'm pretty unbiased, actually. But the first thing is the government is going to spend money. They're going to have to print. And whenever they print, the stock market makes higher highs. It is just time and time and time again. It always happens. And so we have to be ready to react to this monetary policy. 2. Dos. There is a part of the big beautiful bill in which the government is going to be paying $1,000 into the stock market every single time someone has a kid. Every single time a baby is born, $1,000 will be bought in the S&P 500 to create a baby fund in the stock market. That is a pretty tremendous incentive, or at least benefit, to having children, because right now in the US there is really no incentive. It is very expensive. And so if you think about the growth that a child can have from 1 month old to 18 when they get access to that fund, that is tremendous value. Most people don't even have that by the time they turn 40, right? $1,000 in the S&P 500 compounding 11% to 5% every year. I can't even imagine, but we need this bill to get through because it is long-term bullish for the S&P 500, and I am going to be shifting a lot of my investing strategy towards just index fund. As boring as that may sound, compounding is the way to a brighter future. Think of the S&P 500 as literally just the best companies. How do you get the best shotgun spread? You buy all the best companies. You buy the S&P 500, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, right? All these companies that have tremendous value. And then we can be absolute degenerates with SoundHound AI and continue with our crypto spree. But SoundHound AI looks nice. You have a golden cross on the 4-hour. You have you actually do have a golden cross on the daily. It just has really been riding tight here the last couple days. And then I believe you just got the weekly MACD. Yeah. Weekly MACD cross on SoundHound AI. And that is a beautiful thing because like we talked about before, last time you had a weekly MACD cross, you went, oops, I messed up that. Last time you had a MACD cross in the weekly, you went up 400%. And just to do the quick maths here, weekly MACD cross happening this week, 400% takes you, boom, shakalaka, $50 within 4 to 6 months. You're currently at $11. It's 5x. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Never will be, never can be. I am just a dumb retail trader who likes to take risk and buy stocks. But SoundHound AI looks really nice. Look for a confirmed breakout on higher volume or a retest of this channel next week. That is what we're looking at on SoundHound AI. The last one is Webull. Now, Webull is doing something very interesting here because you have actually broken down this move. You hit $15.15. That was not the gap fill we were looking for. You rejected this previous resistance here. Looks like you had a nice start to the day, and that was the largest volume you've had so far in recent memory since the IPO. So this is scenario 2. I know we talked about it. This is scenario 2 here, in which we talked about retesting that golden cross. Golden cross. You know what it is. The big fat golden cross. And so that's what we are looking for. The golden cross currently stands at $12.42, but expect that to continue to rise, maybe to $13 by the time you tap it. You do also have short-term this rising support. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is it for the downside. I find that hard to believe with how large this volume candle was and this bearish engulfing candle. But anything is possible. I think I would personally look for this 4-hour golden cross. If we go to the daily here, that is almost a shooting star candle. And you are still going to get the golden cross in the daily. So that is what I'm looking for, guys. Some disgusting red volume. So I anticipate a retest of this $12 area. For me, that is my buy-in. That is when I am going to buy Webull stock. Not financial advice in any way. Do not act on it. But that's what I'm doing. And that's what we're riding. We are riding this thing all the way back. At least to $30. At least to $30. If I go to the weekly, you are going to get a weekly MACD cross here within hopefully the next month. And that is what's going to really propel you into this gap fill at $16 and then hopefully back up to that high at around $24 to $32 to make that cup accumulative structure. But that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you for my 10 subscribers. We officially hit double digits yesterday. And I cannot tell you how much fun this has been for me and whether or not people are watching it in masses yet. I do truly believe that we will get to there because I am posting every single day. And this is something that I'm passionate about. I hope you guys can feel the passion because I love charting. I love updating on news and building a community. I really want to start getting into live streams and to kind of do a lot of this stuff live so you guys can pick my brain and we can have fun. But thank you to everyone who stuck around and thank you to the repeat visitors. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Drop the like button, drop kick it, and then go outside and touch grass, guys. Have a wonderful 4th of July, and peace.